to give it back to going to be highly abbreviated because we are short on time. But what I do want to do is I just want to share with you some tips on how to get your organization to grow rather quickly. We have an organization within our team that we started on our SVP run. So it was our last line that we built from RVP running to SVP. Within a 9-month period of time, we were able to promote 8 team coordinators, and 5 of those team coordinators promoted in 4 months or less. Okay, so how many of you would love to have a line like that? Absolutely, okay? So I'm going to tell you the keys to what we did to make that all pop so fast. I call it ETT Hunter, okay? And I've really been, I would like to say I'm probably a professional ACN PI. How many of you want to learn how to be a private investigator? Yes? Okay. So you want to just get so good at making ETTs, and we've heard a lot about this already today. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some tips on how to actually make a business plan every day. How do we know what our plan is going to be for the day? How do we empower people to do the things we want them to do to get to the position of ETT? And most important, I want you to understand you can be an SVP if you just make enough ETTs. That's really all there is to it. So if you want to look at your book, I am going to go right off of my notes in there. The first thing I'm going to tell you is you want to ask yourself a couple of questions every day. Okay? In fact, John and Leslie Foster, top TCs in the company, we had a great conversation, a few months ago, and I said, John, if you could just get good at this one thing, you're going to make millions of dollars in ACN. Every day, ask yourself, how many new team trainers joined my team today? How many team trainers did I get qualified today? And how many ETTs did I promote? Ooh, one more. How many IBOs did I register for the national event? And you really want that number to be growing every day. It's fun to ask yourself the questions again at the end of the week. How many IBOs did I put in this week? How many people did I get qualified this week? How many ETTs did I promote this week? How many more people do I have going to the national this week than I had at the end of last week? And then start comparing week by week. Every week, those numbers should be growing, and you should be promoting people every week. So specifically today, we're going to talk about asking yourself the question every day, who can be an ETT? And did I promote an ETT today? Now, every week, if you don't ask yourself all those other questions, the most important one to ask is how many ETTs did I promote? If you are not promoting ETTs every month, whether you're adding IBOs or not, your business is not growing. Okay, write this down. My business is only growing when I am promoting ETTs every month. If we're not promoting ETTs, all we're doing is collecting $499. Okay, so here we go. How to hunt. Step number 1, you want to make sure that you're drawing out your team and updating it daily. I don't even know how people keep track of where they can have an ETT if they're not drawing their organizations out. Mindy Diebel taught me early on. She actually had a notebook. The first page of her notebook said, Mindy Diebel is SVP material or something like that. Love it, her and her little affirmations, okay? The next page, she had 3 pieces of paper, and on each piece of paper, she had each line of her organization drawn out. So if you're an ETT or an ETL or a TC and you have 3 legs, you want to have a different leg on each sheet. So you're keeping track of what's happening in each of your 3 organizations at all times, always updating it. So what should you be drawing on there? Obviously the circles of where people are and you know what's going on there. But you want to be updating how many points everybody has. You want to be also making probably a star next to their circle if they're registered for the next national event, so that you can kind of start monitoring what's happening in your business and seeing who you can help to get to these ETT positions. Okay, you want to study what you've drawn out and look for those current ETT structures. So where do I have a triangle at, and why are they not ETT yet? Okay, you want to be looking for, you know, is it somebody's lacking points? Do I need to make a call? You know, maybe Joe has 2 business partners, but he's not showing ETT. Maybe he has 5 points and his 2 partners have 5. Well, then on my to-do list for the next day, it's going to be help Joe get 2 more points and help each of his business partners get 2 more points. ETT is always the top priority. If you do this, it'll be your game plan for every day of your business. Now, if you don't have triangles, or maybe once you're done with that part, where can we make new triangles? Where do we have a business owner with only 1 partner? Then we know we've got to call this business owner tomorrow and get them excited. Who are you going to put in front of me at lunch tomorrow? Not, do you want to have a meeting tomorrow? We don't ask them questions that they can say no to, right? Okay? I am so excited, Betty. You have no idea. Your first business owner just scheduled a PBR with them. I think we're going to put 4 people in their team this week. If we can just get you 1 more business owner, you're going to make $500 on that action. So listen, you've got to put somebody in front of me tomorrow. I'm going to drive down over by where you work to a restaurant. You're going to tell me which one, and I'm going to talk to somebody. We're going to get this thing rocking for you, okay? So empower them. Be excited. Cast vision about what's going to happen in their business over the next week. Fear of loss them a little bit. Hey, you don't want to miss out on the $500. Not a mean fear of loss, an empowering fear of loss, okay? You want to make calls based on your to-do list, like I just talked about, and fill your calendar with appointments based on those calls. Obviously, you're going to have appointments based on IBOs you've just signed up. You're making their appointments right when you're signing them up. But this is how you fill up the rest of your calendar. How many of you wish you had more PBRs, more 2-on-1s, things like that? Okay, so this is how you're going to fill it, by calling the IBOs that are already existing on your reports. Now, you want to call the IBOs above the ones you've scheduled appointments with and create enough fear of loss and vision that they will be begging to schedule their own appointments with you, okay? We're going to talk about this as I draw some things out for you. But basically, you guys, you've got to be the rainmaker. You've got to know that if you're not doing something in your business, nothing is going to happen. Now, may something happen when you're not doing it? Oh my gosh, a whole lot of things happen when I'm not doing it today, right? That's exciting. But for right now, and even now today, in the organizations Darren and I are working in, we know if we're not there, we have to have the mindset nothing is going to happen. We've got to be the rainmaker. We've got to be the one helping people get to executive team trainer, scheduling all those appointments. So I wanted to bring up Mark Ordaz's report. Mark and Kim, I had them up on stage on Friday. When you're ETT hunting in an organization that maybe is already built, in fact, how many of you maybe have a line of business that's either stuck or maybe it even looks kind of new, but people just don't want to have their PBRs. You're having a hard time getting people to schedule. Anybody ever had that issue? Okay, so what you want to do is you want to ETT hunt on a report that looks like this, and really you would draw the organization out, which I'm going to do a little drawing in a minute, but in this organization, if I was ETT hunting, I'm going to have to walk over here because my eyes are not that good, but I would be looking for who could be an executive team trainer. For those of you who probably can't see in the back, it shows that William Nasiatka, I don't know how we say his name here, but he is on a level 4, and he has 2 level 5s in his team, Brett Bleen and Henry Padilla. Now, he also has a level 6, which means not only could he be an ETT, but he has growth happening in his organization, which means probably this week he's going to start missing money if he's not an executive team trainer. So this would be a 911 emergency for me to be getting William to executive team trainer. I'm going to go over where the points are. I'm going to look to see why he is not. And actually, it's very simple. Brett is qualified. William has his 7 points, but it is actually Henry that needs to get qualified in order for him to hit executive team trainer. So I better be on the phone with Henry, getting Henry jacked out of his mind to get those points done. In fact, I'm not just going to try to get the points done. I'm going to call Henry. I'm going to be like, holy crap, Henry, I'm so excited for you. We've got to get you to ETT, buddy. In fact, I personally would love to come do a PBR for you this week so we can get you your first $1,000 bonus. So I'm going to get him to schedule his PBR first and get him excited about where I'm going to take him. Then I am going to say, hey, also I'd love to meet with you for an hour or 2 today, and let's get your points knocked out so we get you 7 points and get you, in a position that you can be an ETT when we do get those new partners. So again, an empowering conversation. Now, I'm probably going to be going ahead and scheduling that PBR. Once Henry has his PBR scheduled, I'm going to call William, who already can be the ETT. I'm going to be like, holy crap, buddy, dude, I have already got 3 PBRs scheduled in your team this week, one with Henry. There's some serious money on the table. If you bring in 4 partners this week, that's $500 for you. You bring in 6, that could be $1,000. But we've got to get you to ETT before that happens, or you're going to miss it all. Now, here's the deal, buddy. Henry is the only one that needs qualified in order to make this ETT thing go down. I have an appointment with him today. I would love for you to come with me, okay? So we're going to get him also engaged in what's going on. Now, if he won't come, no big deal. I'm going anyway. But let's try to get the people above engaged. Now, the other person I see here that could be an ETT is Jesus Martinez. And I just see this simply because he actually has, he's a level 4, and he actually has 2 level 5s. So, again, he has 1 partner with only 4 points and 1 partner with 0. So we've got to get his 2 partners qualified. So, again, I'm going to make the same kind of calls I just told you about. But really what I want you to get from this is when I'm looking at this report, I'm looking for who can be an ETT. And that's where my calendar is going to start. That's where my to-do list is going to be. Now, I will tell you, do your hunting after PBR hours. Don't spend from 6 to 10 at night hunting. You should hunt while people are sleeping, okay? And then make your to-do list for the next day for the calls that you're going to make. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to show you kind of how you would draw a team. I'm going to show you the first 8 weeks of a leg that I actually built kind of a long time ago. I guess not that long ago, but it kind of feels like it. So let me get to the right sheets here. Darren, are you going to turn this thing on? Hopefully I know how it works here. We're up. Okay. So let me get to the right paper here. What I showed you was how to hunt on a leg that was already done or already moving. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you start hunting when you start building, it's really, really easy because you know exactly what's happening every day. So here's what we did. We started Shirley at the beginning of September. Obviously, what's our to-do list with Shirley? Get her to ETT, get her qualified, get her to ETT, okay? So here we are. We did it. We got her qualified, and we actually got her to ETT with her husband and her best friend, Alexandra Kusa-Jorgis, who is an RVP. She's in the house today, okay? So this was a good home meeting, right? We actually had 1 guest show up. The only guest at Shirley's PBR actually was Alexandra. So everybody in the house, how many of you have maybe, and I have to add that I had a 3-hour drive to that PBR. Okay, so how many of you would have canceled if you were driving 3 hours and you had 1 confirmation? How many of you would have been tempted to? Okay. How many ETLs would have been tempted to? TCs, how many of you would have been highly irritated? RVPs, how many of you would have been almost ticked off? Yeah? Okay, so just know, at the time this happened, Darren and I were the #1 RVPs in the company. Okay, so I took a 3-hour drive for 1 person. Now, I'm going to tell you what. Almost every RVP in my team, the RVPs that I actually worked with in my organization, every single one of them was the only guest that showed up to a home meeting. Okay, so write this down. If you become too big to do the small things, you will, amen, sister, I hear my girl over there. If you become too big to do the small things, you will become too small to receive the big things, okay? Don't get too big to do the little things, you guys. The little things, a lot of times, are the most important things. Okay, so here we go. Week 1, we have Alexandra. My next goal is to get who to ETT here? Alexandra. We've got to get her to ETT. We have a home meeting right away. Here we go. There she is. That actually came out of her first 1 or 2 home meetings, which is kind of crazy. So here we are. We're looking at this, wondering what we're going to do here. Obviously, we need to get Shirley another business partner. So on my to-do list, I need to have another PBR for Shirley, which we did. But also, we have some new people here. And what are we doing with our brand new people? now we got to get them to ETT. So I'm going to look at this and say, okay, I've got to get Maritza to ETT. We've got to get Louie to ETT. And Alexandra actually at this point still wasn't an ETT. She was not qualified. So here's what I did. Booked home meetings with Maritza, okay? Maritza and Jim are actually married. Booked home meetings with Louie. Actually, I didn't because that was Alexandra's husband, but I booked him with Maria. So I had 1, 2, 3, one with George and one with Anastasia. I had 4 home meetings booked, and I'm calling Alexandra and saying, holy crap, girlfriend, you got to get this qualification thing knocked out. We have 4 home meetings. We could put 10 people in your team this week. I have no idea what's going to happen, but we've got to get it done. Okay, so my next goal is to make Louie and Maritza, Anastasia, all of them ETT George. So how many IBOs did we add week 1, by the way? 5. Well, yeah, 6. I guess 6. You're right. Actually, 7, I think, was Shirley's husband. How many ETTs did we make week 1? 1. Just Shirley. Shirley's the only ETT. Okay, so at the end of the week, did we make an ETT? Yes, we did. Absolutely. Okay, so here we go. Now we're on to week 2. Okay, obviously, you can see we have some new ETT structures now. Maritza is structured to be an ETT. Anastasia is structured for an ETT position, and I believe this is when Alexandra actually did reach ETT. Now, little side note, this is why I tell all my IBOs to put their spouse in the business. Notice that Shirley still does not have a second IBO other than her husband. Is everybody seeing that? With the comp plan and the quick start bonus that was on the table the month that Shirley started, at this point, Shirley had already bonused out $2,700 as an ETT, okay? She would not have made a dime had her husband not have been in the business because she wouldn't be an ETT when all this growth was going on. This make sense to everybody? Okay, so it gave her a great success story. She didn't actually put her second partner in until her 5th week in business. And I actually think if her husband hadn't been there and she hadn't have collected those bonuses, I actually bet she would have quit before her 5th week. Which is kind of crazy. So here we go. So we have Anastasia and Maritza. Now, how many people did we actually add this week, guys? We added 6, and how many new ETTs do we have? We have 2, but we actually have 3 because Alexandra popped as well. So are we doing good so far? We're doing pretty good. Okay, so just know that I am actually now freaking Alexandra out. She'll tell you this too. So I'm booking home meetings with Michelle. I'm booking with Amir. I'm still booking with Anastasia because I want her to get a 3rd leg. I'm booking home meetings with all of these people. I'm booking home meetings with Giselle. And I'm calling Alexandra and saying, holy crap, girlfriend, we got to get you to ETL because all this action is going to happen this week. If we do not get you to ETL, you're going to miss some major bonuses. So guess who is going crazy trying to get George to get to ETT right now? Alexandra. Okay, do you think she's also working on her 15 points about right now? Yes, she is. Okay, do you think Shirley is totally freaking out right now? She is, because I'm calling her and letting her know, hey, just so far, if you were in ETL already, this is what you would have made this week. Does that make sense? Okay, so you want to make sure you keep involving the upline. I'm booking all my appointments at the bottom, but I'm still doing 2-on-1s for Shirley, trying to help her get another line here. So don't ignore the top, even though you're working at the bottom. Okay, we go into week 3, and I'm going to tell you what, I think that I probably did at least 10 PBRs in this team the week before. Okay, how much new growth did we have? I call it the purple turd, because seriously, are you kidding me? One little person, okay, one little circle there for all that work. Here's what I want you to know. Top RVPs have bad weeks too. Does that make you guys feel better? Okay, just know while building this team, every PBR I did, I mean, that territory with traffic in Northern Cal was a 3-hour drive for me. So I would leave the house right when my kids left for school. I'd make a 3-hour commute in, do appointments all day and night, and I usually rolled back into my driveway at 1 a.m. Okay, so imagine 5 days in a row of that, and you have one little purple guy, okay? But at least we had one, right? Okay, so basically this week, you guys, because I didn't have a lot of PBRs to schedule, I still did call everybody, all these guys. I wanted to have another PBR for them, so I scheduled a second PBR, because you don't leave a PBR without scheduling another. But also I scheduled a lot of follow-up calls from the PBRs I had done. Okay, so we did a lot of follow-up calls. Obviously, George, we're like totally pumping him up on getting to ETT. Does everybody see that? Okay, and I'm trying to get Maria to ETT. I'm working hard to still get Shirley one up here. So we had some work to get done. I want to get Anastasia paid, so I'm booking like crazy with home meetings here to get her a good success story. Week number 4, here we go. This is looking a little bit better, okay? Here we go. We got George to ETT, Louis ETT, which popped Alexandra to ETL. Michelle's in an ETT position. Anastasia is. Okay, this is looking better. So how many IBOs did we add? Actually, we added 6. We did add 6. And actually, Anastasia was already in ETT. I didn't see that. So we added 6. How many new ETTs did we make? 3. So did it matter that we only did 1 purple guy the week before? Not so much, because we did great this week, okay? So what's the next step? What are we doing now? We've got to make all these new people ETT. We got to get Craig to ETT, Mary. Gwen only needs 1 more to be an ETT, so we're booking. Man, Gwen, I am pumping her up because Matt already has a home meeting. I'm like, dude, we got to get you another partner. You're going to be missing money. I'm telling Michelle, we got to get you 15 points and help you get 2 more partners because Gwen's going to be an ETT. I'm freaking Anastasia out. Michelle's already ETT match position. I'm like, Anastasia, who can you put in front of me? We need to have another PBR for you to get you to ETL so you keep overriding all this action. Alexandra, I've got her just going crazy. Shirley is totally freaking out right now, okay? But we're not going to leave Shirley behind. We're still doing 2-on-1s, and it's just going slow for her a little bit. But how many of you can see that this area right here is kind of turning into a little bit of a power line? Can you see this? Okay, so I'm going to teach you about the 80-80 rule. Ready for it? You want to spend 80% of your time where 80% of your production is coming from. Okay? 80% of your time where 80% of your production is coming from, and specifically spend 80% of your time in one territory. One geographical territory. This is how you're going to heat things up in a massive, massive way. So you want to spend the most time where the production is coming easily. Does this make sense to everybody? Okay? If I would have spent 5 days a week and appointment after appointment trying to help Shirley get another line, would we be doing anything at all, really? I mean, we would not be getting results. So you need to spend your time where the results are happening, okay? So week number 5, here we go. Did we have a lot of new growth? No, not a lot. We have 4 new IBOs. Remember, there's a lot of driving happening, okay? Here's what I do want you to know. If you continue to do the right things, you guys, your line is going to pop. I am just digging and digging and digging, like literally in the dirt, knowing that if I keep digging, this thing is going to give in a minute, okay? So you can see, good news, Mary is in an ETT position. We got Alani, a business owner, so I'm pumping her up. Let's get you to ETT. We have a partner for Jim, which is cool. So we're pumping him up on getting to ETT, getting a guy here. Also, we need to help Louise get one. And definitely, this is my strategy. I am getting Lynn the very most excited, having her do probably 2 PBRs with me this week and also some 2-on-1s, because I want Louise to be scared to not get to ETT. I want her to feel like she's going to miss out on so much if she does not get this thing knocked out. Okay, are you guys seeing how you can get people kind of excited about this? Okay, in the meantime, I'm freaking Maritza out because I'm telling her that we're going to pop Louise to ETT. So she's got to get a 3rd business owner. She's going to start missing bonuses. But I also let her know this week's going to be great. She's going to make some great ones. I'm just letting her know what's to come. Okay, so how many ETTs did we make? Week 5. 1. Big deal? Yes! It looks crappy, but it's so good. Because what did I say? You're only growing if what? You're making ETTs. We didn't make a lot, but we made one. That means we're growing. We're moving. It's good stuff. It's a lot of driving, but at least we're growing. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, week 6, you guys, I was kind of starting to get irritated. Honestly, this driving was getting to be a little bit much. But how many new business owners did we get? 3. We got 3, and it's weird because you can see that the new growth shifted to not where the power leg is. Do you see this? Kind of a crazy deal. So here we are. Shirley finally got somebody to put under her husband who was actually going to build the business because husband was just kind of a silent partner. We have not made any new ETT structures, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to start freaking people out. That's what I do best, okay? I'm going to, literally, my whole goal is to book a home meeting. I want a home meeting with Michael, so I'm going to call him and pump him up. I'm going to call Greg once I have a home meeting with Michael on the books. Then I can call Craig. So I'm going to work this from the bottom up. I'm going to say, Craig, holy crap, I have a meeting with Michael. He's putting me in front of some incredible people. If we don't get you to ETT, I'm thinking you could miss $500 in bonuses this week. Who you put in front of me tomorrow for lunch? Okay, I get an appointment with Craig. Now I'm calling Michelle. Holy crap, Michelle, you can't believe what's happening in your organization. You know, we've got to help Mary get to ETT. Maybe Michelle's going to go do a meeting for Mary now because I want her to get excited about hitting ETL. I'm probably booking meetings here. I'm calling Anastasia. Anastasia, I have 4 meetings booked in your team this week. Girlfriend, you don't get a third leg. Oh, man, it's not going to be good. You're probably going to miss thousands of dollars this month alone, okay? We're calling Alexandra. We're calling Shirley. I've got Alexandra totally on her TC run right now. She's getting excited, okay? And actually, at this point, I'm already comparing for Alexandra. Okay, here's what we did in the last 4 weeks. Here's what you made as an ETL, but if you would have been a TC, here's what you would have made. Okay, so remember, TC money is twice what ETL money is. So we're getting her kind of excited. Now, I should have stopped and told you this. At the end of 4 weeks, this team actually had 22 new IBOs, and we had 7 ETTs and 1 ETL. Okay, so 22 IBOs, 7 ETTs, and 1 ETL. There were some weeks that I'm telling you, for the amount of PBRs I did, more than 4 people should have been coming in. Okay, really, maybe like 10 to 12 PBRs a week with 2-on-1s all day and qualifications and launchings.